Okay, so here we are on the Straddle TradeFinder page. This is where you're going to be able to filter for interesting, potentially explosive straddle opportunities. Now, there aren't too many filters because I wouldn't want you to get confused, but we have enough filters for you to be able to search for stocks that are fulfilling certain criteria that you need them to fulfill. On top of every filter, you'll see that there's a question mark in a little circle. If you click on that question mark, it will then show you the help for that particular section that you're on. So help is always local on this site. So now, starting with a very basic filter, we can filter for stock prices which are in certain ranges. And I think you'll remember from the CDs which are the ranges that I really like. We can also filter for stocks which have volume greater than 100,000 or 250,000 or more if you need stocks which are very, very liquid. And here we have a very basic options filter where we can filter for the liquidity or open interest of the particular options that we're going to be looking at, and they're going to pass through our filters. And we can go to over 100, over 250, or over 500. So if you require options that are very, very liquid, then you would select the over 500. Now, in the stock analysis section, we can choose to include only those stocks which have an earnings report in the next few weeks by clicking right next to the red flag. And we can choose to filter for those stocks which are showing a consolidating chart pattern, like a flag or a pennant. Moving on to the other side now, in our options analysis filter, we can also filter for those straddles which are relatively cheap in comparison to the relative price action of the stock over the last few weeks. And for that, we would just click this box. We can also filter for straddles which form a percentage of the stock price, i.e., so if you had a stock price of, say, $30, by clicking the less than 10% of stock price option, we would only be getting straddles which are under $3, because $3 is 10% of $30. Now I'm going to show you something else here. If I uncheck all of these and don't select any of them, I'll get an error sign. You must at least select one of the parameters. And just to let you know, we will be adding a couple more parameters in the very, very near future as well. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, we keep the filter on for including the earnings results. So those stocks are going to be showing in the filters which have an earnings report in the next few weeks. So now we're in the controls area. Now this is where we can filter for the expiration date of the straddles that we're looking for right now. Now notice that we get 3 months away, which is January 08, 2 months away in terms of expiration, which is December, and 1 month away, which is November. You will never ever see a date in there which is less than 1 month from now till that expiration date. And if you remember what I said in the CDs, I definitely have a preference to go a little further out. So 3 months is about optimum in my world, because that way I don't get killed by time decay. Now in the middle here, we have a sort by drop-down. This is where we can sort the results as they appear on our screen. So we can sort by the Illuminati formula, which I explained a bit earlier. We can sort by alphabetical order, or by strike price, by the cost of the straddle, or by the percentage cost of the straddle in relation to the stock price itself. Now in this little yellow area, we have a couple of very special functions which we'll be releasing very shortly. Now in this little yellow box here, we have 3 very important functions which we're going to be releasing quite soon. You're going to be able to save the specific filters that you've selected. You can save any number of them. And not only that, but you're then going to be able to choose when you want the results of those different filters sent to you by email from us. And you can even choose which night of the week we're going to send them to you. So the next thing to do is to just click on the search button. So I click on it, and here I have a number of results. Now, earnings season hasn't really kicked in just yet, but if I scroll down, you'll see there's a number of opportunities. I'm just going to scroll down very, very slowly, and you'll notice that each one of these opportunities has that flag there, that red flag that signifies that earnings are in a few weeks. And you may also notice that certain of the stocks also have this consolidating chart pattern showing up here as well. That signifies that these particular stocks not only have earnings with the red flag, but also have a consolidating chart pattern, which, as you know from the CDs, I quite like the look of. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to be necessarily great opportunities. There's a bit more research we have to do before we identify which ones are the ones that are going to win and which ones potentially aren't. So each row is going to show me a different stock. It's going to show me if that stock has an earnings report. It's going to show me if that stock is forming a consolidation chart pattern. It's showing me the ticker symbols of the options, the strike price of the straddle. It's showing me the open interest. It's showing me the date of the earnings report if there is one in the next few weeks. It shows me the price of the stock and also the cost of the straddle. And at the end, it gives me the choice to analyze, which I'll show you in a few moments. So let's look at these icons. If I click on the red flag icon showing me that there's an earnings report soon, it pops up with a window to Yahoo and it shows me that indeed this stock has an earnings announcement on the 31st of October, and I can see any other announcements that may or may not be hanging around there as well. If I just minimize that window, I'm now going to click on the consolidating chart pattern, or I can choose either one, but let's just choose this one here. I click on it and it gets me to MSN and it gets me into a chart, and I can see here that indeed this stock has had a bit of a run up to here, and it's now consolidating here, and it's just trying to break out, as you see. So it's fitting the criteria for a consolidating chart pattern as well. There's still plenty more research to do though. If I click on the stock itself, it's going to show me, I'll just click on any one of them, it's going to show me the headlines for that as well. So when you click on the stock, that will show you the headlines and the recent headlines for that particular stock. We want to make sure that there's no real news out in the recent past to make a good opportunity. We don't want the news to be out yet. We want the news to be coming in the future, remember from the CDs. And then moving to the right-hand side of the screen, we have the Analyze button, this calculator icon. Now this is where we can go to the analyzer. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click on the calculator icon and a new window will pop up.